The Source Radio. I'm your host, Adam Makulin, as we're moving on with our Wednesday morning. 74 degrees out there currently. And as we move on here, as a little bit to discuss here, something a little interesting within our first interview nonetheless, as on the phone I have Dr. Latanya Benjamin here is board certified and the pediatric dermatologist and dermatologic surgeon, associate professor, and follows the American Academy of Dermatology and the American Academy of Pediatrics at her Florida-based pediatric dermatology practice. And she is here to talk today about, baby skin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Excellent. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. As the idea that, as we have a change in season, we know that a dip in the temperatures, it gets a little cooler. Even Florida, which is humid all the time, starts to become a little bit more dry. And with that, there's some changes to the skin.
You're exactly right. So it's true that during these colder weather months that we're now entering, it can wreak havoc on all of our skins. We know that the dip in humidity affects the level of dryness in our skin, and we start using warmer waters on our skin and our temperature when we wash our hands. We're still in the era where we're doing a lot of frequent hand washing. And so this cool weather and the practices that we do begin to start stripping the natural moisture like ceramides from our skin.
Oh, wow. And with that in mind, too, is we brought you here today to discuss a little bit how it especially affects infants and toddlers.
Yes, particularly in infants and toddlers. Their skin is so delicate compared to adults. We actually know that their fragile and immature skin is part based on that it's 20 to 30% thinner than adult skin, and that puts them at risk for increased dehydration and heat loss.
Oh, wow. Now, with that in mind, is the idea to protect and replenish the skin, what kind of ideas are out there?
That's exactly right. So because the baby skin is so delicate, we want to ensure that it contains moisturizing factors that affect in a positive way their skin barrier and maintains that hydration. And one way to do that is with ceramides. We know that ceramides are healthy fats found naturally in our skin. We actually even see them as early in fetal development, and they continue to protect our skin as it matures. So it's important to keep ceramides replenished for proper skin barrier function, and that's easy to do because we have ceramide-containing products like CeraVe Baby Moisturizing Lotion that contains not only 3 essential ceramides, but also important ingredients that will hydrate and calm and soothe the baby's skin, such as hyaluronic acid, and I know most moms out there know what that is, niacinamide and dimethicone.
Let me ask you, Doctor, in the idea of signs that maybe your baby or toddler are having issues with the skin. Maybe it's something that we know with the changing season, you and I are having the conversation to be spreading some awareness now, but are there any signs that, maybe your infant or toddler are giving you that shows that their skin right now is having some issues?
That's a wonderful question. Yes, this time of the year, skin conditions like, for example, eczema are prone to be aggravated. So your child not only will have less smooth, we know healthy baby skin when we see it. It's really smooth and plump. So if you have signs that the skin looks a little parched or less hydrated, the child is itching the skin, or you see a little pink or redness developing, that's a good sign that now your skin really needs some support.
Absolutely. And with that, even some daily habits that you could mention to kind of maintain what we know, whether it's a changing season or not. There's some good ideas there.
Exactly. In addition to utilizing ceramide-infused moisturizers on your little ones, I also recommend using a gentle and fragrance-free cleanser. And so this can be found in a baby wash or shampoo that not only cleanses and moisturizes the skin, but also the hair. So I recommend my families look for a wash that contains ceramides to ensure that their baby's skin is not drying out during the bath time. And also, we know that baby skin is so delicate that they're especially susceptible to sun damage. And after about 6 months of life, I recommend that's a good time to start incorporating in your daily care practice baby spectrum sunscreens that are developed broad spectrum sunscreens that are developed specifically for our babies to protect their young skin. And for my families, I always prefer a mineral formula with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide because that tends to be less irritating on sensitive skin. So like we mentioned, those children with eczema, I mean, if you've ever seen a bad case of eczema, their skin actually starts cracking and may oftentimes even bleed. Mm-hmm. And I know we're only thinking about sunscreen in the summer, especially in Florida. We're still in our 70s. Mm-hmm. But it's important as we transition through the fall and even into the winter to protect both your skin and your baby's skin year-round, even in these cooler months.
Absolutely, Doctor. And where can the listeners go for more information about the stuff we talked about today?
Great, yeah. For more information on ceramides and daily skincare products for babies, I recommend visiting CeraVe.com.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for taking the time. I think that's a lot of great information there. I think as much as we're making even the conversation go towards the infants and toddlers, it's even something that in ourselves we kind of forget, like, oh, hey, yeah, even though it's wintertime and the temperature changing, it's still one of the largest organs on the body, right, the skin. So very important nonetheless,
exactly
and
right.
especially for our children. Well, thank you, Doctor, very much.
Right.
Excellent. You guys have a good rest of the week, and we thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You got it. WOCA back after this.
Trailing in the polls in Pennsylvania by a bit to Joe Biden tells supporters